Nice. Oh, see, that was so good. Satisfying, I'm sorry. Hi guys, it's Marc Morris with TAMRON Lenses. How are you? We are here at Mike's Camera and we are doing the first look on the all-new A074. You know, our modeling scheme's a little funny. I never really know what the numbers mean either, but it is called the A074. It is the 28-300 F4-7.1 VC, which means it has stabilization, VXD, which means it's voice-coil autofocus technology, which is amazing for a lens in this category. And it is coming out for sale August 29th for $899, and we're gonna check it out first gig right now. So let's pop it open, shall we? If there's one thing that everybody knows in our industry is that packaging is origami. Does anybody ever unfold this poster of 9 million languages and instructions? We should know how to use a lens by now, one hopes. But we have simplified things, thank goodness, and you would think that I've done that before. So, all right, there she is. So it's good looking actually. I do like our new ergonomics quite a bit. The curves are all in the right spot. The rubber grips are really tactile. They're kind of built for follow focus rigs. If you are the type to use gears, you can definitely use them on these guys. The new manual focus rings are pretty well damped. They're super, super smooth. The multi-barrel movement here actually is pretty solid. You can always tell when there's a couple floating elements because there's just a little bit of resistance as we move past the middle run. The lens is completely weather sealed, so it's not just a gasket around the back like some of our lazier competitors might do. It is gasketed throughout the range of the lens, and the front element here is also completely fluorinated, which means that nothing sticks, oil and dust resistant. The hood is custom built. This is an A074 hood, so it is built specifically for this lens. It is a bayonet style, so it's just a click and a snap and everything works nicely. Built specifically for this guy. This lens has really good close focusing properties. At 28 millimeter, it focuses down to 7.5 inches from the sensor. So, I cheat, I have another one here with me. So if it's on the camera in and of itself, if you ever wonder where your sensor alignment is, there's a little circle with a slash right on the camera itself, and that line is where your sensor is. So close focusing is 7.5 inches from this line, and that means that it's pretty much at the tip of the hood. This lens can basically touch the hood to the subject at 28. When you go all the way out to 300 millimeter, and that's still really small for a 300 mil zoom. When you go out to 300, the lens focuses down to 36 inches basically from the sensor. So considerably more distance. That's not bad, but it's not gonna be quite as high magnification. As I understand, the macro ratios at 28 is 1 to 2.8, which means it's just slightly bigger than 1/3 life size on a full frame sensor. And then when we get out to 300, it's 1 to 3.8, which means it's slightly bigger than 1/4 life size on the sensor. That's still pretty good. That means the close focus performance throughout the range is outstanding, and that is why it's gonna be such an amazing travel zoom. Not just because it can reach out to 6 times human vision, but also because you can work really, really close when you need to. So for you vloggers out there that want a lens that can do the food stuffs as well as the wildlife stuffs, you've got a one-size-fits-all piece that weighs less than 1.5 pounds. So that's pretty amazing. It's not exactly going to be the most gimbal friendly thing. I mean, if you have a lens that zooms out this much, you'll want to balance for one side or the other, it's true. But in this particular lens's case, I don't think you'll be using 300 millimeter on a gimbal as it is. You'll be either on a tripod or it'll be handheld. The stabilization will take care of things. It's fully fluent with all of Sony's major algorithms. The autofocus algorithms are all native. The stabilization algorithms are native. Everything that you expect the camera to do, it will do. It does have a focus hold button. This is one of our series of hybridized intelligent lenses that can be completely pre-programmed for cinema and video work. So things like having a stepless iris programmed into your focusing ring here, having AB focus poles ready to go, even a full digital follow focus rig through the app on the Android phone. So there's a lot happening under the hood. It even has a 9-bladed iris, which is a professional grade. I mean, that's usually what you'll see in $2,000 lenses. And that means that for an all-in-one that has a fairly small max aperture of f4-7.1, the bokeh characteristics will still be outstanding given its size, weight, and its capacity. So we actually put quite a bit into this lens, to be honest with you. It's kind of a bit of a surprise. Most all-in-ones tend to get kind of looked down upon because they're kind of seen as, you know, the hobbyist lens. It's the one size fits all. You know, you have to make some compromises at wide to tele. The charts look good on this lens. I haven't really shot it, other than I can say that the macro does in fact work well, and the fact that we put a Voice-coil autofocus motor, again, into an all-in-one lens, this thing focuses fast, and it is probably the fastest focusing all-in-one available for Sony. I think that's probably irrefutable. You can quote me, but not fully. We'll see how that goes. But in any case, because of that, the speed, the versatility, that means that even in broad daylight, we can shoot things like sideline sports with a lens like this. Having the ability to go from 300 back to 28 as the action gets closer to you, that is priceless. That's actually unbelievably good. And also just, you know, for professionals who do want a nicer all-in-one lens than is normally available, then this is it. This is your guy. If you don't want to carry around the 2.5 pound monstrosity it is, the 35 to 150, we know it's a pretty lens. We know it's super bright. If you need better range and still want good image quality, this is going to be your guy. So coming out on August 29th, $8.99. It's a beautiful piece. We actually did a really nice job. It's really well balanced on the A7 III here, which means on the 4 and the R5, it's going to be flawless. I'm kind of excited for it. I didn't know what to think when we first announced it internally. You know, like, we always have our own opinions on things. Obviously, we're snobs. We play with lenses every day. And it's easy for lens snobs to forget that the vast majority of the market really doesn't need fast glass all the time, if not most of the time. And a good portion of the market also doesn't want to spend $2,000 on something they're only going to carry around a part of the time. This is a lens that literally goes anywhere and does almost anything, and it's under $900 if you play the penny game. That's pretty awesome. Weather sealed still. It's the only one in its class that's weather sealed like this. It has Voice-coil autofocus, which means it's definitely the fastest autofocus in its class. Proper stabilization that's up to modern specifications, not 6 years old. It does some amazing things. So for the money, I think it's going to be pretty tough to beat for the time being. So in any case, coming soon to a real camera store near you, just like Mike's Camera here in Boulder and throughout Colorado and California. So thanks for having me, and we should go shoot. Talk soon.